Om Magyantimidandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. It is wonderful to have you with us today for the One Earth Live Festival. I am especially grateful and honored to have this opportunity to speak some words. It is especially important to come together in unity in times like these. We could learn transformative, life-giving lessons from nature. In the redwood forests of Northern California, there are redwood trees that are among the oldest and tallest trees on the earth. Through the centuries, they have endured massive earthquakes, blizzards, storms, winds. The soil is loose and it's a hilly region. How do they keep growing? A park ranger once explained to me that there is an underground secret that reveals the mystery. The roots of the redwood trees, they reach out, and when the roots of one tree come in contact with the roots of another tree, they embrace. They make a permanent bond. In this way, they support each other. Every tree in the redwood forest is directly or indirectly supporting each other on the level of the roots. The big, ancient trees with their massive roots reach out, intertwine with others, and even the tiny little baby redwoods with roots that are like threads, they wrap around the bigger roots and they give each other support. Unity is their strength. The roots of human civilization is our hearts. When our hearts are connected in such a way that we care about each other, that we share with each other, that we learn to appreciate our differences on the higher level of understanding what is it that unifies us. It is that unity in diversity that gives life meaning and purpose. There's a beautiful statement in the Sanskrit language, saragrahi, which means wisdom and enlightenment is gained by one who seeks the essence. The honeybee or the butterfly, they fly from one flower to the next flower, seeking nectar. They drink the nectar, they gather the nectar, and that's their happiness. And because they're filled with that nectar wherever they go, they pollinate that area. the trees, the flowers, the plants. When the butterfly or the honeybee touches them, that pollen, that nectar spreads. And that's where our fruits and so many our vegetables and flowers are coming from. That pollination. And then the honeybee goes back to the hive to share what he has gained with the community. The essence of our life is really our pursuit of happiness. Things could give some amount of satisfaction to the mind or senses, but not to the heart. Only to love and be loved can give fulfillment to the heart. It is love, unselfish, pure love, that every being is seeking. That is the essence. And that love is within the heart of everyone. It needs to be awakened. To the degree we awaken that love, it expresses as compassion. And we want to share that love with everyone. Wisdom and compassion becomes greater the more it expands to become inclusive. Unfortunately, people in today's world have a tendency to be so habituated to a very superficial, shallow conception of themselves. And therefore, the world is a mirror of our own state of consciousness. We perceive everyone and everything in this superficial way. Therefore, great philosophers throughout time have given us this direction, to know thyself. In the Bible it is said, what profiteth the person if they gain the whole world but they lose their own eternal soul? We see people, we identify people due to our own shallowness within by the color of their skin, by the shape of their eyes, by their particular sex, or these other external physical features. When we go deeper, we discover the unity of humanity. And we learn to appreciate people as human beings. When we go deeper than that even, we understand that it is the spirit, the Atma, the soul within myself that gives me life and consciousness. I'm seeing through my eyes and hearing through my ears and loving through my heart. What is the nature of that conscious source, the self? The Sanskrit texts say, Satchit Ananda. Our nature is, we are undying, eternal, full of knowledge, awareness, and our nature is to be happy. And what is that happiness? To recognize the harmony and the unity we have between the body, the mind, and the soul. The harmony between our soul and the Supreme Soul, or God. The harmony we have with all other souls who truly are, not just in theory or in sentiment, but who are truly our brothers and sisters of the same nature, from the same origin inherently. And seeing our harmony with all the gifts of nature, to the degree that harmony awakens from within us, we no longer find any meaning in life exploiting nature or exploiting each other. But the truth that brings us real happiness is seva, the willingness to care, the willingness to serve, to restore nature, and to uplift and care for one another. Like the roots of the redwood trees. When we develop communities, international communities, local communities, wherein we understand that there is an interconnectedness with all of creation. We all need each other. In the human body, for example, there are many parts. There is the heart, and there is the lungs, and there is the pancreas, and there is the brain, and there is the toes. Every part of the body has its own color and its own shape and its own function, but every part of the body is serving every other part of the body. And a healthy body is where all the different organs and limbs are in harmony with each other. And the nature of a body, if you injure your littlest toe, every part of the body will be especially focused to send healing energy to that little toe. No part is thinking, I'm better, I'm more important. This is humanity from a spiritual perspective. Harmony. Yoga means to awaken that natural harmony that is within us, and awaken the power for us to be instruments of compassion in our lives. And that's the very same purpose of religion or spirituality. Harmony is what makes music pleasing to our hearts. When various musicians or vocalists are united to contribute to the song, when they're playing in tune with one another to improve the quality of the song, then that song is beautiful to our heart. Life is a song. The harmony we create with one another is so very important. And for all time, throughout history, music has been a way to bring people together, to praise God, to cry out for social change, to share each other's fears or sorrows, to celebrate life, and to unify the world. In the Yoga scriptures, Brahma Sutra, it is said, Janmadyasya yataha, that the Supreme Truth, who has many names, we could say God or Bhagavan, that Supreme Truth is the source of everything and everyone that exists. It is described therein that it is through sound vibration that the entire creation has come about. And through sound vibration, we can connect to that pure energy that brings us back to the awakening of our own original self and bring us again in harmony with the Supreme Self and with each other. Through sound, we can reconnect with the love that's within us. Mantra is a Sanskrit word which has two parts, mana and trayate. Mana means the mind or the heart, and trayate means to liberate. The idea of a mantra is it is a spiritual sound vibration that awakens our original nature. And in the process of doing so, it cleanses us, purifies us, restores us, and revives us. Cheto darpana marajanam, just like a mirror. When we look in the mirror, we expect to see ourselves. But when the mirror is covered by dirt and dust and debris for many, many years, that's all we see. And we identify that dirt and dust to be who I am. But through transcendental sound, through music, we can cleanse the mirror of the mind and heart. And then we see who we truly are. An eternally beautiful, perfect, happy being. A pure soul beyond birth and beyond death. Who really cares for people in every level of life. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Because the body is a sacred gift that has been given to us, entrusted to us, to use for a higher purpose. The higher purpose of being instruments of compassion. To take care of our own bodies, to protect ourselves, and to extend that understanding to do everything we can to protect and help others physically, emotionally, and ultimately spiritually. Like that honeybee that's buzzing from flower to flower to flower, seeking nectar, filling themselves with nectar, and then pollinating, distributing that nectar wherever it goes. If a person puts on perfume for their lover, wherever that person goes, everybody experiences the fragrance of that perfume. When our hearts are perfumed with love for God, then wherever we go, people will be benefited by that love. This is the greatest need in the world. Music is such a wonderful, beautiful, timeless way of reconnecting with that love and sharing that love, sharing our heart's aspirations with each other and with the world. The one Supreme Being has manifested or incarnated in this world many times, in many places, and has spoken many languages. And this is the origin of so many of our great spiritual paths. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that one supreme truth has come with many names and forms throughout history to remind us what we have forgotten, who we are, and what we're truly seeking, the essence of love that's within ourselves. And one of the great incarnations of that one supreme truth was Krishna, He was a musician. He played a wonderful flute, and the sound of his music was only meant to attract the love of our hearts. And the sound of his music was the very expression of his love for us. In this way, the one God, whatever name we may have and whatever religion or spiritual path we may have, through music, through the music that he's revealing through every heartbeat, through every breath, through every sound of nature, is sharing love with us. And if we tune into that truth, then it will awaken our love. And when you water the root of the tree, that water extends to every part of the tree. As that love in the root of our hearts awakens, then we want to reach out and share it with everyone. That becomes the most meaningful purpose and greatest joy in our life. Whether we do it with our friends, with our families, with our society, or with the whole world, and ultimately with all living beings. Big or small is not important. What is important is the quality of our intentions. And each and every one of us has this opportunity. And how much the world is in need. Sometimes crisis, turbulence, great challenges give us an opportunity to reevaluate how I'm spending my time. What really is my purpose? What's really important in my life? To associate with people who enlighten us, or who share the path of enlightenment with us. To read books that inspire us, uplift us. To seek forms of entertainment that help us to live in harmony with the higher principles of our aspirations in life. And to put some special sacred time aside every day to cultivate our spiritual practice, to reconnect our body, our minds, with our hearts, with our souls, to cleanse our hearts and connect with that love through prayer, through puja or worship, through study, through meditation, through kirtan, through chanting, through music. These are all wonderful, wonderful ways in which we can reconnect to our own love, our own soul, and find real valuable purpose in our life. Kirtan or music is so special because it's so powerful. Transcendental sound can cleanse us and transform us, but yet it's so simple. Spiritual music, it can inspire a little child who can practice it with great happiness. And whatever our situation in life at any time, we could always vibrate transcendental sound vibration. My beloved spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he wrote that a person's greatness is estimated by how they tolerate and respond to provoking, difficult situations. A little baby, when in danger, cries for the mother. It's natural. A tree, even in the coldest winter, is barren of any leaves, but still has hope like that little child, that by the will, by the enthusiasm, with the right intentions, the patience to grow, it's just a matter of time till the spring comes and the flowers and the leaves blossom. Physically, old age, disease, and death are inevitable for everyone. But the spirit, the soul, the part of God that is perfect within each of us is beyond birth and death. The song of life is to tune in to our own spirit and share that spirit with each other and with the world. Difficult times often help us to really focus, because it's not just a convenience, it's a necessity. It's always a necessity. To become aware of that is so important. And we need each other to help each other, to care for each other, to inspire and enlighten each other for that purpose. This beautiful festival, One Earth Live, with wisdom, with music, is such a wonderful opportunity to come together in the mission of awakening God's love. Thank you very much. My sincerest prayers that hope, inspiration can awaken in all of us, and we can share it. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.